TV and sports without cable. Try it free at FuboTV.com. Today, the Red Sox play host to the Washington Nationals here at JetBlue Park. We welcome you to Fort Myers. Tom Kieran along with Will Middlebrook. Split squad action today. Nick Pivetta up the road to Port Charlotte against Tampa Bay. Here it'll be Brian Bayo making his second start of spring against these Washington Nationals. Will, it's your first game of the spring. What are you looking at coming into this camp?
A lot of moving parts, right? I'm looking at three main storylines here. Cedar Rafaela, can he win that center field job? Can he hone in that approach, be a little more selective at the plate? So far, so good in camp. I know it's only been a few games, but he looks a lot better. Now I'm looking at the middle relief. There's a lot of right-handed options. Justin Slayton, Isaiah Campbell, Zach Kelly, lots of names and not as many jobs as there are names. So we'll try to see how that shakes out. And then the fifth spot in the rotation. That's probably the biggest one right there. Garrett Whitlock, Tanner Houck. At this point, you do have to throw Josh Winkowski's name in there as well in that mix. And 3 weeks to go. A lot of moving pieces.
Cutter Crawford has a leg up in the battle for the fourth spot. Brian Bayo in consideration for the opening day start. He'll be on the mound today.
Yeah, no, I love Bayo. He's right there as becoming an ace. He's got the stuff. He took a big step last year. Now we got to see him develop a couple more pitches, throw more strikes. I love what he's got, though.
10 new faces on the 40-man roster. One of them, the left fielder and the leadoff hitter today, Tyler O'Neill. He'll be wearing the microphone for us, taking us into the action as spring training continues with Grapefruit League play. First pitch between the Red Sox and Nationals coming up next on NESN. Red Sox Spring Training Baseball on NESN is brought to you by Fubo. Live TV and sports without cable. Try it free at FuboTV.com. By Bigelow Tea, the official hot tea of the Boston Red Sox. And by BuyAToyota.com. For offers not seen on TV, visit BuyAToyota.com. Red Sox taking on the Nationals, second meeting of the year between these two teams. Red Sox lost at West Palm Beach Wednesday. 4-3 was the score of that game. Take a look at the Nationals lineup. In right field, it's Jacob Young. Luis Garcia Jr. is the second baseman. Joey Meneses is at first base. James Wood is the designated hitter. Alex Call in left. Dylan Cruz in center field. Carter Kieboom is the third baseman. Riley Adams behind the plate. And Nasim Nunez is the shortstop. Going to see some of the top prospects in the national system this afternoon. Red Sox getting ready to go here at JetBlue Park on a beautiful day. A cloudy, overcast day, but nice and warm. Good baseball weather.
When your baseball players in spring training in Florida, cloudy days are welcome because you're out there getting beat down by the sun every single day. These are the days you love. Again,
a split squad day today with the Red Sox taking on the Nationals here and taking on the Tampa Bay Rays up at Charlotte. Up in Charlotte, it will be Nick Pivetta pitching to start for the Red Sox. And here we're going to see Brian Bayo on the mound to begin. Tanner Houck expected to come out of the bullpen after him. Could be as much as 3 innings from each of them. So Starting to see these guys stretched out a little bit as the Red Sox take the field here at JetBlue Park, and we get ready for the start from Brian Bayo, the Red Sox starting pitcher, brought to you by buyatoyota.com. Brian Bayo making his second start of the season, couple of scoreless innings in his first go-round, 3 strikeouts in that outing for Brian Bayo. That was up at Northport against the Atlanta Braves on a split squad day. You see the numbers from last season. And this is a young guy, just 24 years old, very much in the conversation to be the opening day starter when they break camp and head north.
I mean, the stuff's there. We've known that, right? The nasty bowling ball sinker, very good changeup, one of the better changeups in the game. It's just developing that slider, getting that four-seam up in the zone above barrels, and just developing all of his pitches.
Take a look at the Red Sox defense today.
Yeah, let's take a look at the defense, TC. How about that? We'll go Raffy Devers at third base, Trevor Story at short, Emmanuel Valdez at second base, Tristan Casas at first, Tyler O'Neill in left, Cedar Rafaela in center field, Wilyer Abreu in right, Connor Wong behind the dish, catching for Brian Bayo.
Take a look at the umpires today as the Red Sox and Nats get ready to go. Marvin Hudson behind home plate, Brian O'Nora is the first base ump, Brian Knight at second, and Manny Gonzalez is at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. SAP is brought to you by Toyota Certified Used Vehicles. And we check out the weather forecast presented by Window World. My friends are the official replacement windows of the Boston Red Sox. I'm a customer. You should be too. 81 degrees. High humidity, chance of thunderstorms through the area this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon, so we'll be keeping an eye on that. I like mostly cloudy as the forecast down at the bottom. We'll go with that because we're glass half full guys.
I like that. Optimism, TC.
All right, Red Sox ready to go here on a muggy afternoon, and it'll be Jacob Young leading off for the Nationals. Jacob Young, the center fielder, takes a called strike, and we are underway. And we talked about some of the young prospects you'll see in this group. And Jacob Young, just 24 years old, ground ball ranging over is Story across in time. Nice play to begin the day for Trevor Story.
I'll tell you what, TC, that wasn't as routine as he made it look. But that's the beauty of having Trevor Story out there from day one. All of a sudden, that middle of the infield, that middle of your defense is that much stronger. I mean, this play over in the 6-hole. Sprinting to it, sliding, popping up, and I mean, he really doesn't even put much into his throw. He just back foots that, hits him right in the chest. It's a great play.
The elbow injury kept him on the shelf for much of last year. He played only 43 games, and in 43 games, finished 4th on the season in defensive runs saved by American League shortstops.
Absurd. That's just how athletic he is. That's what he brings to this team.
All right, number 2 hitter, Luis Garcia, straight away center field. It's 2 quick outs as Rafaela makes the play.
Good sign right there. Ball's in the zone, pounding the zone. This ball's hit hard. It's up a little bit, but hey, an out's an out, and you'll take that, especially when you're trying to get through 3 innings. Alex Cora said, hey, I want to push him. See, get him through 3 innings this point in the spring. That's great considering it's, what, March 2nd?
Talked about Bayo being in the conversation to be the opening day starter, the last homegrown opening day starter for the Red Sox. Who you got?
Opening day, John Lester.
Clay Buchholz, 2016, a year after John Lester. Yep. But you're talking about 8 years since a homegrown starting pitcher has been the opening day starter for the Boston Red Sox.
Yep.
0-1 pitch. Joey Meneses with the chopper. Devers is there, and it's a 1-2-3 first for Brian Bayo. We head to the bottom half of the inning. No score here at JetBlue Park. Back here at JetBlue Park, bottom of the first, Red Sox lineup. Tyler O'Neill wearing the mic, leading off, playing left. Rafi Devers at third base. Trevor Story, the shortstop. Tristan Casas, his first start of the year at first base. Masataka Yoshida, the designated hitter. Connor Wong behind the plate. First game of the year for Wong. Wheeler Abreu in right field. Cedar Rafaela in center. And Manuel Valdez is the second baseman. They'll be facing Josiah Gray, coming off an all-star season, a 3.91 ERA. Really got his home run rate under control, halved it from the year before. Gray throws everything, throws the kitchen sink.
7 pitches, right?
And they really think the future is, can he pare that down and be dominant with 3 or 4 pitches?
Yeah, I think the big question, too, is you start really digging into the analytics, the metrics of what he's got. His fastball gets hit hard, and he throws it in the middle of the plate a lot. So I think that's why you're seeing him add pitches. He added the cutter last year, which helped get guys off that fastball. You're going to see him continue to add pitches and mix it up so that fastball don't get barreled up as much.
He's ahead on Tyler O'Neill, 1-2. O'Neill, the leadoff hitter today. He's 2 for 9 in 3 games so far, but has scored 3 runs. He's got great speed, great defender. Gives him the right-handed bat to balance the lineup. The trade acquired for a couple of pitchers from St. Louis in the offseason. And I pull a muscle just looking at him.
I was waiting on something about his physique.
Busting
just because
out of that
you can't
uniform.
walk past him without being like, geez, this guy's yoked.
His father was the bodybuilding champion of Canada in 1975. Said he was born in the gym and he's never going to leave the gym.
Genetics, baby. That's what it, that's what it is. My dad was not jacked.
That's why I
don't know if you can tell.
I weep for my kids. They try their hardest. 3-2 from Gray. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Josiah Gray gets a strikeout to begin the outing. Had 5 strikeouts in his first spring state training start against the Mets.
Let's take a look at the Nationals defense. Carter Kieboom at third base. Nasim Nunez at short. Luis Garcia Jr. at second base. Joey Meneses at first. In the outfield, Alex Call in left. Dylan Cruz in center. Jacob Young in right. Riley Adams behind the dish. Catcher for Josiah Gray.
This is Rafael Devers. His 4th game of the spring. 3 for 7 and 2 of the 3 hits. Opposite field home runs. A great sign early in the season.
Great sign, TC. Great sign because, I mean, for one thing, timing is tough in spring training. You get out here and you feel like everything's speeding up on you. You're trying to rush to catch up to fastballs because everything looks like 100.
And he drives this one to right field. Falling and making the catch is Young. Nice play in right field by Jacob Young.
But more loud contact from Rafi Devers. I mean, we know the hitter he is. We're not surprised that he's crushing balls all over the place. But the way he pulls his hands in on this, I mean, the fastball down and in, he gets to it. This might have even been the cutter, but he keeps the hands tight to the body and barrels this, almost drops it in for a knock.
So 2 down for Trevor Story. Made a nice play defensively in the top of the first. 2 for 7 in 3 games so far this spring. Takes call strike. It's 1-1. Little infield news today. Vaughn Grissom, the young second baseman they acquired for Chris Hill in the offseason, has suffered a groin injury, and there's doubt that he'll be ready for opening day. Story taking a 1-1 pitch inside. 2-1 the count. So, and Manuel Valdez, we'll talk about him. He's at second base today. He's probably got a leg up on the competition. Pablo Reyes is going to be in the mix, but sounds like not Cedar Rafaela. They want to keep working on him as a center fielder, even though he did originally come up as an infielder.
Right, and you know, not to get off the subject of Vaughn Grissom, get back to that, but Cedar has the ability to be elite defensively in the outfield. I mean, we've been watching him through the minors, rob homers, dive in the gap, has the speed out there, gets the jumps. So yeah, I want him in center field as well. Absolutely. I know it's a packed outfield right now, but he's special.
No doubt about it. They talk about his roots, his speed, his ability to read the ball off the bat. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So a 2-strikeout, 1-2-3 first inning for Josiah Gray. And we head to the second scoreless in Fort Myers.
Back here at JetBlue Park at Fenway South, with the Red Sox and Nationals are all tied at 0 here in the second inning. And TC, you're just talking about Vaughn Grissom's injury, how it's going to affect his availability to be available for opening day, where Enmanuel Valdez is being looked at as the opening day second baseman. And of course, he came over from the Christian Vasquez trade from Houston, and the bat, we know that it plays. It's a defense that was a little bit suspect, and that's something that he worked on this offseason. And he even changed his arm slot, his direction of throws. He also has worked extensively with his footwork. He also told me that he changed his glove positioning when the ball gets hit over to him before it gets hit to him. He also has taken to Trevor Story, utilized his expertise. He has looked at him for direction. He said he's improved his defense, and he seeks anything that's going to help him be a better defenseman. Red Sox say they feel comfortable with him, and right now Valdez says he feels very confident at second base.
Plays. There's never been any question about that. Can he get the glove up to league average?
That's it. You don't need to be elite. You don't need to be out there making web gems ever. Make the routine plays, turn the double plays, catch the ball. Catch the ball.
Craig Breslow and John Henry on hand here at JetBlue Park, having a little conversation. You'd love to be a fly on the wall right now, wouldn't you? Right there.
They're right in front of it. If I open this window,
can you just take your headset down, lean out a little bit, and let us know what's
to work on my lip reading skills.
It says Will Middlebrook's doing a great job in his first game.
That's definitely what it is.
3-1 the count to James Wood here, one of the top prospects in the organization. He will draw a leadoff walk here in the second inning.
I'll probably walk that guy too. Have you seen the moon balls he's been hitting?
Batting practice was a show.
Goodness.
He was one of the 5 players got in return for Juan Soto and Josh Bell, the trade in August of 2022, a consensus top 25 prospect in Major League Baseball. And really, you talk about 2 deals that they hope would reboot the entire thing in Washington, right? Max Scherzer, that the key return there was Josiah Gray, and now the 5 players, Wood and Dylan Cruz, the guy stepping up now after Alex Call is hit by a pitch, part of that 5-player haul for Soto and Josh Bell. So a hit batter after a walk, and Brian Bayo's got to pitch out of a little jam here, and he is facing one of the top prospects in all of Major League Baseball. Dylan Cruz, the number 2 pick in the draft last year out of LSU. Had a tough time adjusting to the professional game, hitting only .292.
Yeah, keep grinding.
Single A and
keep
double
grinding,
A.
kid. You'll get there.
.355 his first run in the Carolina League, with an OPS over 1,000, and he is hit by a pitch. So to lead off the second inning here, Brian Bayo has suddenly had trouble with control, walking Wood and then hitting back-to-back batters to load the bases with nobody out.
Yeah, and that's a changeup that got away from him. It just kind of flew off and caught him in the elbow, but everything's kind of losing arm side so far this inning. After a quick 6-pitch first inning, this changeup, he just loses at arm side, you know?
Meeting on the mound here after a 6-pitch 1-2-3 first inning.
And you know, spring training is like this is a time, especially early in camp, where you're like, why is he throwing that? Why is he doing this? Why is he only throwing this? They're working on things. This is early in camp. Now, if this was the last week of camp, I'd be a little more concerned with that. But right now, I know they're trying to work out the kinks on some stuff.
Bases loaded for Carter Kieboom, who fouls that one, or is it foul? Fouled it off his leg. Connor Wong standing on the plate for the moment, making sure. Play till the whistle. That's the baseball version of that.
Let's see if this gets a piece of the fun. I didn't. Oh, off the bounce. I think I got his knee.
Bounce, yeah. Strike 2 is the call. Kieboom, born in Marietta, Georgia, another first-round pick of the Nationals, 28th overall back in 2016. Tommy John surgery, had to miss a year, now working his way back. The grounder to Story, who starts the 6-4-3 double play. So Wood will score, but 2 outs now and a little sigh of relief for Brian Bayo.
Yeah, and that's who Brian Bayo is. Pound the bottom of the zone, here and there get that four-seamer up above it, but his bread and butter is that sinker and that changeup, barreling down and in on guys, breaking bats, getting ground balls. And in these situations, when you have double play in order, yes, you give up a run there, but look, he makes a pitch, get 2 outs. Now you're a pitch away.
We'll bring up Riley Adams with 2 down and a man on third. He'll foul 1 back. Riley Adams acquired from Toronto for Brad Hand back in 2021. Last year was his first season that he didn't spend any time in the minors. This is a tricky little nubber, and nothing Bayo can do but eat it. That'll be an infield single. It'll bring in Alex Call, and it's a 2-0 lead for the Nats.
Yeah, it's tough because he made a pitch, did exactly everything right, and then that's just baseball. That happens. Little nubber, no man's land, no play. RBI single in the book.
So a 2-0 lead for the Nationals. Self-inflicted trouble to begin the inning for Bayo. Run scoring on the double play, and then the 30-foot dribbler. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Nasim Nunez. Nunez, a second-round pick of the Miami Marlins in 2019, selected in the Rule 5 draft this past December. 5th overall pick in the Rule 5 draft. Will have to stay up with the big league club or be offered back to Miami. Was the MVP of the All-Star Futures game last season. Hoping he can improve his offensive production. His plate discipline is elite. 87 walks, was tied for 4th most in Double-A last season. But he's behind Bayo here, 1-2.
You know, Bayo's made an adjustment. You know, the first 3 batters losing the fastball and the changeup arm side, walked, 2 hit by pitches. It's almost good to see these guys struggle a little bit early in camp and make those in-inning adjustments.
The 1-2 from Bayo. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So that'll end the inning, but not before the Nationals score a pair. We head to the bottom of the second. 2-0 Washington here at JetBlue.
MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to your favorite ballpark. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
Back here at Fort Myers, JetBlue Park, bottom of the second, 2-0, Nationals winning. Early on here, Red Sox playing their 9th game of spring training, 9th and 10th technically, with a split squad game going on up in Port Charlotte. Josiah Gray back out for the second inning of work, facing Tristan Casas, as Casas makes his first start of the spring. Alex Cora called him the MVP of the offseason because of the work he put in. going to the Story camp and then going to the rookie development camp to talk to the rookies, going down to the Dominican Republic to spend time with some of the players
forcing him his way into a leadership role, you know, with these younger guys and his success he had last year. It's good to see.
Takes a strike there. I think this has the potential to be a big breakthrough season for Casas. We know what he did last year as a rookie. He struggled early.
Yeah, first month and a half.
Stayed with the process. And the Red Sox stayed with him. Well, it paid off.
If he's anything, he's hard-headed. He's going to stick to his routine, so I don't think they were ever worried about that. It was polishing the routine maybe that he was so hard-headed with, but, I mean, when he turned it on, my goodness, the second half of his season was loud.
June 12th, he was hitting 197 as he takes a ball outside there. By July, he had become the AL Rookie of the Month with an 1199 OPS. And then remember, out of the All-Star break, 7 home runs in a 12-game stretch. Absolutely locked in. Swing and a miss here. He'll strike out. Second strikeout of the game for Josiah Gray. He's got 7 strikeouts now in 3 1/3 innings.
Yeah, look, he averaged 93 on his fastball last year, and already in spring training, he's sitting 95. It's jumping out of his hand. The guy's swinging right through that fastball. The guy hit around for about a 300 clip last year.
Listen, if he can get the velocity to tick up,
absolutely,
and can control the strike zone better, 4.5 his walks per 9 last year. That's far too high.
Can't have it.
He's already gotten the home run rate under control, and you talk about him with the people in the national side, and they will tell you he's a guy who is always tinkering, always thinking of ways to be better. Bare hands this, falling away and unable to make the play as Meneses couldn't scoop it. So Yoshida will pull up at second base here. The first base runner of the game. Should be an infield
single. Should be a knock and a single, yeah. Or knocking an error, should I say.
So it was a good play by Gray. Kind of had to do the grenade lob over to first.
Right. It was a good pitch, too. It looks like a changeup that he only threw 1% of the time last year. Obviously, spring training, he's working on it. Throws a changeup here. Yoshida way ahead of it. Nubs it off the end. But, hey, you'll take a knock. Now you're in scoring position.
And the man in scoring position for Connor Wong, Red Sox catcher, playing his first game of the spring. Swing and a miss there. Josiah Gray facing Connor Wong. And you take a look at Wong did last season. First full major league season for Wong. 105 games started behind the plate. That was 10th most of any catcher in the majors.
Oh, yeah, he showed up and clocked in every day. I mean, that's tough for catchers. There's a handful of guys that catch that many games nowadays.
And that's not a Carlton Fisk physique. Right? Small for a catcher, but he's got speed and he's got pop. But he'll pop this one out to left field. Call is there for the second out of the inning. So 2 down. Yoshida at second base. That'll bring up Wheeler Abreu. Abreu last year making his major league debut. Remember, he did it against Houston, the team they acquired him from in that Christian Vasquez trade. He's named to the International League All-Star team with the Woo Sox. And the bat was just on fire all season. Had the first player in Woo Sox history with a 3-home-run game.
I love this kid at the plate. I really do. He has a very mature approach, right? He understands the strike zone. He understands what he does well. He doesn't really expand out of it much. And, I mean, there's pop there. He's 97th percentile in arm strength. He's a good fielder, which you need in right field at Fenway, knowing how big that is. He's a good player, and I think he's got a pretty bright future ahead of him.
He's ahead of the count, 2-0 here as Gray delivers. Misses outside. It's 3-0.
It's not over the plate. Wheeler's not flinching.
Masataka Yoshida. Second base with 2 outs. Gray looks in and delivers. Gets the called strike. Josiah Gray out of Lemoyne University in Syracuse. Division I school now. They were D2 when he was there. Former D2 athlete. You always have to give the D2 players a shout out. And ball 4 there is Abreu. We'll take the free pass. We'll have 2 on now for Cedon Rafaela.
You know, we talk about the plate discipline for Cedon and how it's needed to improve and his selectiveness at the plate, because he is a free swinger. He has been. That's been, you know, his scouting report for years. But so far this spring, he has really tightened it up. I want to see in this situation right here with runners in scoring position if he sticks with it.
There's Rafaela. He'll swing for the downs there. Going after the cutter, strike 1.
So it's a swing and a miss, and an aggressive swing and miss, but it's in the zone. That's the pitch I want you aggressive with, not the one up above it where guys were getting them.
One of the biggest stats of spring so far, he has walked 4 times as he pops this wide. Left field, drifting deeper than I thought. Dylan Cruz is there to make the catch, so another scoreless inning for Josiah Gray. We head to the 3rd. The Nationals leading the Red Sox 2-0. Download the NESN 360 app. You can watch Red Sox games, highlights, on-demand shows, and more. You can download the app and log in with your TV provider to start streaming NESN 360 now. Tom Karen, Will Middlebrook, Shemai Webster with you here in Fort Myers. Nice crowd on a muggy afternoon. Red Sox trailing 2-0 as Brian Bayo comes out for his 3rd inning of work. Got himself in that jam with a walk and 2 hit batters to load the bases. On the verge of getting out of it relatively unscathed with the double play. A little 30-foot dribbler from Riley Adams brought in the 2nd run.
Yeah, I like the adjustments. I mean, that's what this is about this point in camp, is making adjustments. He made it, got out of it.
That'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Jacob Young. Grounded out to short to begin the game. Terrific play from Trevor Story, ranging to his right. Young had a season-ending ankle injury in late August last season. Playing 33 games with the Nationals, and we've got a violation here. Home plate umpire Marvin Hudson calling that. And between that and the ball, it's 3-1. I feel we've seen more violations than I expected to early on here. Maybe it's a case of like last year. They really want to establish the tempo early on in camp.
Yeah, and I think last year all the pitchers were very aware of it just because it was new and they're on it, they're practicing it. Now it's a little more relaxed. They're aware of it. You're not going to see a ton, but you're going to see that happen where guys are like, you know what, I'm just going to take my time here and take my ball in spring training.
Trimming down the clock a little more with the man on base, down to 18 seconds now. 3-2 pitch from Bayo, swing and a miss, strike 3, so he'll get Jacob Young to begin the 3rd inning. 2nd strikeout of the game for Bayo.
A nice little sinker right there. I say little, still sitting 95 with that bowling ball action down and in on righties. This is ideal, perfect sinker. Starts middle of the plate and just dives under the bat. Best thing you can do with that is hammer it foul or hit a dribbler to Raffy at third.
One down for Luis Garcia Jr. Flied out to center field in the first inning. Already his 6th major league camp with the Nationals. He's only 23 years old. 6th. 6 camps.
Wow. That's why I love doing games with you, TC. You teach me things in game, you know?
I got nothing better to do.
You got to carry
Florida.
us.
Might as well read some stuff. Study.
What's wrong with Florida? I'm a Floridian now.
Yeah, well, there's one more thing that's wrong with Florida. Ground ball to second. And there's 2 quick outs as Valdez will get there to make the play. I enjoy Florida. I love my time here. Got to play a round of golf yesterday. We had a nice social event here at JetBlue Park last night.
That was great.
Fans were flocking to get a Will Middlebrooks autograph.
That was not the case. I'm not sure I even signed one. But it was fun. Great turnout.
That can't be true. You had to sign some autographs.
There were a couple.
Thank you.
There were a couple. But, you know, Jemai had me pull off to the side. I'm hiding from people. We're with ownership. You know, having some food.
A couple glasses of wine down around the first base area. Ground ball to second base to end the inning. And bouncing back, Bayo with a 1-2-3 third. 2-0 Nationals here at JetBlue. Are you looking for a new venue for your next team building or client appreciation event? America's most historic ballpark has exclusive hospitality areas available for the biggest games of the year. Visit redsox.com/groups. Bottom of the third. It is a 2-0 Nationals lead. Josiah Gray back out there for his third inning of work. And he will be facing the number 9 hitter, Edmanuel Valdez. Talked about the opportunity now with the injury to Vaughn Grissom. Valdez certainly going to get a chance to be that second baseman if Grissom does indeed miss opening day. He'll fly to right field here, and Young will get under it for the first out.
You got to wonder how much the Grissom injury is going to impact someone like Bobby Dahlbeck too, right? Like that's another guy who could, if you need him, play that position. He showed his ability to be versatile, play the outfield some last year in Worcester. He can play the middle. We know he plays the corner infield. So a lot of things to shake out this spring, especially with Crone coming in now, which shows another wrinkle into that.
There's Tyler O'Neill, yes, C.J. Crone. Here today, officially told he's got to get through physicals and medicals and all of that, but widely reported that he had agreed to a deal with the Red Sox. More outfield options. But you don't bring a guy like that in if you don't think he's got a chance to make the team.
Right, absolutely. And, you know, and I feel like if Crone makes that team, I feel like Rafael has got a much better chance to make the team because without Bobby, you lose the versatility in the infield. Rafael, if you need him to, can play the middle infield if he has to. So I don't know. That's what we do, right? We start looking at different options. What can happen? If this guy makes a team, who else doesn't make? It's just what we do early in camp.
And a 4-pitch walk here to Tyler O'Neill with 1 out in the 3rd inning. His second at-bat of the game. The man on with Rafael Devers stepping up to the plate. Josiah Gray spent a summer in New England, was a Chatham angler, Cape Cod League. And then he went back. So many guys, especially if you're from a smaller school, a Division II school like Lemoyne, you go and perform at the Cape Cod League against the best D1 athletes in the game. As Devers fouls this one off. He went back and went 11-0 with a 1.25 ERA that next year.
Yeah, like you said, you go and you compete against the best of the best talent-wise in college baseball, and then you realize, hey, I got good stuff, right? Confidence is everything in baseball.
Quality individual off the field as well, was the Nationals Roberto Clemente Award nominee this past season. Hosted an event called Glow and Throw with JoJo, where scholar athletes got to come and play glow-in-the-dark baseball at night. What a cool event.
I don't know how I feel about glow-in-the-dark baseball.
Well,
if it's
that's because you think everyone's throwing 93 up at the face.
Well, it always felt like that
would not be the case on a game like this.
Good point. If it's more like a Nerf ball, maybe, I just feel like, have you ever played night golf?
Oh, yeah, it's fun.
With like the glowing ball?
Yeah,
I've never done it. Your depth perception looking at the ground, is it off?
It's not bad when you're looking down at it. The trouble is, I'm in the woods after a couple shots. It's really hard to find it. And who knows what animals are
more fighting off the coyote.
Yeah, it's not a good idea. Alligators. So, you see an alligator walking around with a glow in his mouth because he just ate your golf ball.
There you go.
But yeah, no, I've done it a couple times. It's fun. Putting is really fun.
Oh, I bet.
Because you're trying to sort of line up and you can't see the green. 2-1 the count here to Devers. Runner goes, swings and misses. The throw not in time. So stolen base for Tyler O'Neill, flashing that speed here in the 3rd.
Another aspect of his game that he brings, he's got the speed on the base pass. He plays good defense. He's a fun player. It's all about health for Tyler O'Neill. If he's healthy, I think we see a much better version of him than he's brought to the league the last couple years.
So runner in scoring position now for Devers. Facing a 2-2 pitch from Gray. He'll drive this one opposite field, and that'll make it to the wall. Devers wheeling towards second base. He will slide in safely. An RBI double for Rafael Devers, who's been wearing out the wall here in spring training.
We're going to keep saying it, and we're going to keep talking about it. It's a good sign. It's a really good sign for anybody to be firing the ball the other way. But Rafi, to take advantage of the monster. He has every ability in the world to lead the league in doubles the way he's able to hit the ball off that monster. This is actually a really good pitch on the corner away, sinking fastball down and away from him, and he just stays on it and smokes it off the wall.
I'll bring up Trevor Story now with Devers on second base. A lot of talk about Devers lowering his hands a little bit and getting a better look at the ball, quicker to go opposite field. What do you see?
Yeah, so actually he did. I mean, he had him up above his head before, and now they're a few inches lower. It's actually a big change for a hitter, because normally if you move something an inch, it feels like 6 when you're making mechanical adjustments. You can look at it right here, the split screen. Look at above his head, and now we're more around his ear. It's a big move, and I talked to Pete Batsey, the hitting coach for the Red Sox, about this, and he said, look, he just simplified the move, right? There's way less movement, and it helps his timing. He's on time more. He's not going to be late on those fastballs up in the zone, and you're going to see him barrel a lot more baseballs.
He barreled that one. Again, 2 opposite field home runs already this spring, and now an opposite field RBI double. Red Sox on the board, 2-1. 1 down. Devers at second. Trevor Story facing an 0-2 pitch. Fights it off to stay alive.
I think something else to look at this spring, too, is, look, Rafi's going to rake. He's going to hit. He's going to produce. Who's going to produce behind him, though? Is it going to be Trevor Story, which would be great? That would be great. Tristan Casas. Which one of these guys is going to protect Rafi so guys don't just have to circle him in the lineup and say, hey, we don't have to pitch to him? it's going to be a big adjustment.
Strike three call there on Story for the second out of the inning. But if Story can get anywhere close to the guy he was for 6 years in Colorado when he had an .863 OPS, he can be the right-handed bat that breaks up the lefties.
100%.
And you talk about Devers, Story, Casas. Now maybe O'Neill behind him if he's not leading off. Maybe you have Duran leading off. Suddenly that's a formidable five-man heart of the order.
100%. Trevor is the X factor, in my opinion, for this lineup.
This is Casas. Fouls that one off to the right side. I talked with Tristan Casas about a week ago about a lot of the technology the Red Sox are bringing in for the hitters, the sort of hitting lab where they can go in and work on the swing and look at some of the biomechanical markers. And he said, well, I'd like to think I'm a little bit responsible for that. I've been talking to them about that. This is what we need to excel as hitters. And you talked about the confidence he has, but you talk about a 24-year-old guy coming off his rookie season just saying, you know, they're giving me the tools I need to be even better.
I think outside of his play is listening to him in a post-game interview, right? And the way he breaks down every single pitch he saw in that game, and just the way he talks about the game. I just absolutely love it. But to your point, he's young, and if you listen to him talk, you would not think that he was in just really his second year in the big leagues.
Facing an 0-2 pitch from Josiah Gray here in the third. And Gray gets him. Swing and a miss. Strike three ends the inning. 2 strikeouts for Gray, but an RBI double for Rafael Devers gets the Red Sox on the board. It's 2-1 after 3.
Welcome back to JetBlue Park here with Brian Bale after his spring training debut. Carlos Valori going to do the translating for us. And Brian, you're able to breeze through the first inning, ran into some control issues there in the second, but able to bounce back in the third. How important is that bounce back at this stage in spring training?
Tuviste un buen primer inning, después tuviste un poquito de problemas con el comando en el segundo, pero hiciste el ajuste y regresaste en el tercero. ¿Qué también se siente lanzar el día de hoy y lo que lanzaste?
Nada, gracias a Dios por este día que nos permitió. Sí, tuve un poquito de dificultad, me metí en problemas en ese segundo inning, pero gracias a Dios pude salir con muchas cosas buenas de ahí. Me mantuve enfocado en sacar mi 3 outs y nada, pasó lo que pasó y nada, fue un buen día, me sentí súper bien, gracias a Dios.
No, yeah, I ran into a little bit of command issues in the second inning, but I think I learned a little bit of that inning. I think I was able to get composure back and be able to get out of that inning, and overall I think it was a great outing for me.
New pitching group, new philosophy with Andrew Bailey leading the group. How much are you enjoying his approach at this point?
Que nuevo coach de picheo, nuevo grupo, nueva filosofía, ¿qué también te sientes trabajando con él?
Nada, he estado trabajando muchas cosas con él y me ha gustado, me ha ayudado bastante y nada, seguimos trabajando con él.
Yeah, no, I've been working a lot with him. I think I like the way that he works, and we just need to keep improving on the things that we're working on and be ready for the season.
Noticed a lot of guys still calling you Nino around here, and brings me back to your debut in 2022. You're smiling, still enjoying the game, but a couple years later now, you become one of the guys relied upon in this rotation. How does it feel to be one of the guys now who they count on?
Que él nota que los muchachos te siguen llamando niño, que él se acuerda cuando debutaste hace 2 años, que no tenías mucha experiencia, pero ahora con el tiempo has tenido experiencia y ahora eres uno de esos lanzadores que son que se cuenta, con los que se encuentran este año y en el futuro de la organización. ¿Qué se siente estar en esa posición ahorita?
Nada, se siente súper bien, ya que hemos trabajado mucho para estar por aquí en esta posición y hemos aprendido muchísimo también en estos 2 años que he estado aquí, y yo estoy seguro que este año todavía voy a aprender muchísimo más y nada, estamos ready para darle con todo esto.
No, it feels great. Like, it feels great to be here. It feels great to be one of those guys. I've been learning a lot during these two years that I've been in the big league club. And also for me, my main focus is to keep learning, keep improving, and stay healthy. I think that's the main key.
A lot has changed, too, since your first year in professional baseball back in 2018. You became a dad. You matured a lot on the field. How has those things off the field impacted your approach on it?
Muchas cosas han cambiado muchas cosas han cambiado desde que te
Nice job.
desde que te convertiste en jugador profesional. Tienes un hijo, tienes una hija, y ¿cómo te han afectado esas cosas positivamente fuera del terreno en lo que estás haciendo en el terreno?
Nada, como yo siempre digo, las cosas que están fuera del terreno no lo dejas fuera, y cuando ya entras al terreno tú lo que te enfocas en el trabajo y tal. Entonces cuando ya sales de aquí, pues tú tienes que hacer lo que tienes que hacer fuera del terreno. Yo nunca trato de juntar esas dos cosas, pero nada, pasan muchas cosas buenas fuera del terreno con mi familia y todo eso.
No, it's great. It's great to be able to have a family, and also you have to learn how to separate both things. Like, you can't take the what happened on the field at our home and vice versa. You can't take what happened at your house on the field. So I think that's one of the things that I learned during these years. Like, you have to separate both things. But it's great. It's great to have a family. It's great to have a daughter, and I'm super happy.
All right, so you guys get to take a trip to the Dominican Republic, your hometown. You're not lined up to pitch there, although you wanted to, but there's still a possibility about you being the opening day starter as it relates to the regular season. How do you feel about that?
Que viene el viaje para Dominicana, que no vas a alinear para lanzar ya, pero que de todas formas hay una muy buena posibilidad de que seas el abridor del día inaugural. Que ¿Cómo te sientes sobre eso y cómo te preparas?
Nada, hay muchas personas en Dominicana que estaban esperando la oportunidad para verme lanzar allá. Cuando me dieron esa noticia que si yo lanzaba en Dominicana no se iba a alinear con los primeros juegos de la temporada, y yo dije, bueno, yo lo siento, pero yo quiero tirar entre los primeros juegos de allá, y me sentí mal por un lado, pero me sentí bien por otro lado. Entonces nada, espero que haya otra oportunidad y que esa gente de allá puedan verme.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit bittersweet because I know there was a lot of people who wanted me to see me pitch down in Dominican Republic, but at the same time having the opportunity to open one of the first games in the regular season makes me happy as well. So it's bittersweet, but I'm ready. I'm ready to embark that.
All right, Brian, appreciate the time. Still a lot more spring training to be left, and look forward to a big breakout year from you.
Thank you.
All right, TC, Brian Bale after 3 innings today in the spring training.
All right, Jemai, thanks very much. 2 down here in the 4th inning. Tanner Houck on the mound saw a nice play from Rafael Devers to get the 2nd out on the chopper from Dylan Cruz. Was able to play it calmly. Good strong throw. Keep the runner at second base.
That's one of the tougher plays for a third baseman. When that ball's hit at you like that, you see the high topspin, and your first thought is to take a step forward. Devers made a very good move there, kind of paused and made a drop step to give himself room to let that hop get to his glove. Otherwise, he clanks it off his glove. his feet are so important for him. We know he can make the throws. We know he can make the diving plays. It's plays like that that are going to make a big difference.
1-1 count to Key Boom here as he fouls that off. We were talking before the games began about the presence of Trevor Story helping Rafael Devers this year, having Story there for a whole year. And Devers told me, I don't have to think as much now about my left. He's getting everything over there. Right? I can focus on the plays to the right where he is stronger anyway.
100%. I mean, having a shortstop with that much range, it just makes all the difference in the world. You have less responsibility in ground to cover.
So a leadoff walk and a stolen base, but nothing comes of it as Houck strikes out a pair in a scoreless fourth. 2-1, Washington leading.
Hey, hot mic, Yosh. Don't say anything crazy today. Dude, let's go. Come on, let's get it. AC, here we go.
Come on, kid.
Baby. Joe, let's go.
Come on, back.
Out of way. Hey, got two. Adams, what's going on, buddy? Marvel's going today. Good.
Just checking in with everybody as he does his thing. I think Red Sox fans are really going to like Tyler O'Neill. Obviously, if he can recover his 2021 form, everybody's going to like Tyler O'Neill. I mean, the top 10 MVP in the National League that year, one of his 2 Gold Gloves. A guy who works his tail off.
I was going to say, I think it's the personality. Sure. I think it's the blue collar, play like with your hair on fire. You know, like Red Sox Nation loves that.
Try to keep on the down low that he's a Vancouver Canucks fan. They won't love that.
Don't tell many people. Keep that close to you.
Said to him, I said, you know, do you want people to know that you were a Vancouver Canucks fan? He said, I want them to know I still am. Very proud of it.
Hey, listen, you and Peter Gammons talking hockey this morning. I had to walk away because I told you I don't speak German.
You don't speak the language, yeah. It's understandable. Talking about what defenseman they might add at the trade deadline. You had nothing to add.
Yeah.
Strike 3 called on Yoshida. So Thaddeus Ward begins his outing with a strikeout. Thaddeus Ward, a Red Sox draft pick back in 2018 out of the University of Central Florida, taken in the Rule 5 draft from the Red Sox in December of 2022. Not something the Nationals do a lot of. He was their first Rule 5 pick since 2010. So 12 years between Rule 5 picks. It's coming up 2021 Tommy John surgery. Red Sox didn't want to use the 40-man space, hoping he could get through. It's not that they didn't like the pitcher, but the Nationals saw an opportunity. Got to keep him on the Major League club all year. He made only 26 appearances last season with Washington. Had shoulder injury that kept him in the minors rehabbing for a while. Be interesting to see if he can stick with this team as a long reliever or even a start of the year. It was high, 6.37 last year, but they like the way the ball came out of his hands.
Ball comes out good. Fastball, slider, cutter guy, mainly 3-pitch mix. But kind of seems like a guy that would fit what Washington is looking for right now.
And he'll field this one. Carner Wong with the tapper back to the mounds. 2 quick outs for Ward.
You know, they're still probably 2 years away from being competitive. Probably they're coming. They have the young guys coming. We talk about the James Woods, the Dylan Cruz, you know, all these prospects they've built up over the last couple of years, from whether it was a Soto trade or having good draft picks because of a bad season, having a bad record. But those guys are developing and becoming something. So at this point, you want guys like this where they're making league minimum and they're not taking up a ton of payroll, because you're not going to compete against the Mets, the Phillies, the Braves. I mean, come on. So these type guys are what you're looking for.
It's funny, they 20 games under 500 last year, but you talk to people who cover the National League regularly, and they'll say they were better than expected. 71 wins was better than expected.
Right.
And their young prospects in the post-Juan Soto era continue to mature and move up to the point where manager Dave Martinez said last week, this has been my favorite camp as manager of the Nationals. They're young, they're energetic. It's a little bit of the same vibe you've heard Alex Cora talking about here.
I think players also thrive off of that underdog. No one believes in us, only us in this room type thing. That's real.
And take a look at their top 10 prospects according to Baseball America. Cruz and Wood in the starting lineup today. As Abreu takes call strike, it's 2-2. Pitching, again, there's a lot of similarities between these two organizations. I think both teams feel very good about their lineup, about their positional prospect depth. The question is, can either organization sign or develop starting pitching and speed up the schedule of that group of arms?
Yeah, and listening to Craig Breslow talk, too, he knows that, and that's an emphasis of work for him, is building not only the upper minor system, but the lower minor. That way there's more of a pipeline of arms on the way, not only to use in the big leagues, but you got to make trades at some point, too, and you need those pieces.
2-2 the count on Abreu. 2-1 Nationals leading. Bottom of the fourth here at JetBlue Park. Abreu fouls it off and stays alive. Two years ago in the minors, Wheeler Abreu, 46% of his plate appearances finished in either a walk or a strikeout. Talk about the two true outcomes. Not a lot of balls being put into play over that season. And that's what he matured on last year, right? Being more aggressive on strikes in the zone that you can do something.
Right, because there's no question he knows the strike zone, but you got to be able to pull the trigger, right? You got to be able to do damage, especially with that pop.
Take a ball here, his second walk of the game.
Set that up nicely, TC.
Saw it coming. 2 out, walk here in the fourth. And a chance for Cedar Rafaela to keep the inning going against Thaddeus Ward. Red Sox and Nationals, we said they met last week over in West Palm Beach on the East Coast. 4-3 Nationals win. They will face each other at Fenway Park this year, May 10th through the 12th.
You know, I should have gone to that game. It's about 20 minutes from my house.
Why didn't you get that one? Oh, because we didn't do it.
It was radio.
Right, we didn't do it.
It was radio. I listened to it.
Big swing and a miss from Rafaela. Flied out to center field with 2 on to end the second inning. Rafaela, we told you, 4 walks in 16 plate appearances so far this spring. That is a tremendous sign for a guy who has a tendency to chase and has through his minor league career worked on tightening that up. Appears to be doing it here early in camp.
Yeah, it's huge. That's the biggest thing against him right now. Just plate discipline. That's it. The tools are there. The aggressive swing is there. We're seeing that, and it's in the zone, which is nice. The pop is there. I would like to see him shorten up just a little bit. You don't have to come out of your shoes on everything.
Runner goes, a swing and a miss there, and they will get the runner. Abreu thrown out to end the inning. So a scoreless fourth. We head to the fifth. Nationals leading 2-1 at Fort Myers.
Plan your summer vacation with Red Sox destinations. Join road trips to see the Dodgers, Rangers, and Orioles, or visit Fenway for weekends against the Yankees, Padres, and Astros. Learn more at redsox.com/travel.
Moving along here at JetBlue Park, fifth inning. Nationals with a 2-1 lead. Second inning of work now for Tanner Houck. Having the conversation earlier about the opening day starter, and you start to get to that point saying, well, can you count the days that, well, you've got Nick Pivetta going today, Brian Bale going today, Tanner Houck going today, conceivably 3/5 of your rotation pitching today. So good luck figuring that out from the smoke signals. And that's first pitch swinging, base hit up the middle. Riley Adams leads off the fifth with a second hit of the game.
Yeah, just trying to get ahead with the sinker here, still a strike, and Adams was just ready to ambush that. Good swing, single up the middle.
A little more on Tanner Houck there. His 2023 season. It is always the question whether he can be a starter or a reliever. Last year, posted a 2.71 ERA from innings 1 through 3 of his outings, an 8.17 ERA from the fourth inning on.
Yeah, you know, I think a lot of that, honestly, TC, is its lack of a third pitch, right? We see the splitter. He's working on it a lot here. We see a cutter here and there. But we know it's sinker, slider, like that's his bread and butter. If he can develop that split finger into a legitimate third pitch, it's going to make all the difference. That's what's going to get him to be able to be in the rotation. But with two pitches, a timer through to the lineup is really what's best for him, and the numbers back that up.
Of course, last year hit in the face by that line drive in June in the game against the Yankees. Didn't return until August. 4.93 ERA in his final 8 starts, but said there's been no lingering concerns, physical or mentally.
Right. That's the biggest one. That's the biggest one. It's just being able to get back in there. I remember getting hit in the wrist, breaking a wrist, and it come back the next spring training and pitches in, feel like they're jumping at you. You know, it takes a sec.
Runner goes. Heineman, the new catcher, up, throwing, and he nails him. So Adams is thrown out, trying to steal here at the top of the fifth. The new Red Sox catcher coming in for this inning, Tyler Heineman, put to the test.
Yeah, that's just textbook catch and throw right there. Ball away, up and away, perfect ball to throw on. I mean, but puts it on a dime, right on the bag. Trevor Story just has to catch it and let the base runner run into his glove. That's a perfect throw.
2-2 to Nunez, ground ball, hoovered up by Valdez, and there's 2 outs now in the fifth. So 2 down, and Jacob Young will come up for the third time today. 0 for 2, grounded out to short, struck out. Take a look at Manuel Valdez. Good sign when he's making the plays. Again, we talked about it. Don't have to be spectacular. Make the plays you're supposed to make. and hit the way you can hit.
Rarely do you hear in the big leagues, hey, just be average. But just be average. But average defensively is still a good defender.
You know, and it's interesting you say it because you talk to some of the Red Sox people, and there's no defending a last place finish back-to-back seasons, but they believe in the front office of this organization, if they had been league average as a team defensively last year, it might have been 5 or 6 more wins.
I agree.
In which case you're knocking on the door of a wild card, and maybe that last 2 months is a whole different situation.
Well, and then maybe the trade deadline looks a little different too, right? Because they weren't far off at the trade deadline. You know, a game
One
or two.
game out,
yeah.
August 1st. They were 6 games above 500.
So better defense, all of a sudden you're above.
August 2nd, they were 6 games above 500, which is hard to think of the way that end of season went. As Young gets out of the way. 22-37 over the final 59 games. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So a strikeout for Tanner Houck, his 3rd of the 2-inning outing so far. The Red Sox come to bat in the bottom of the 5th, trailing 2-1. Two to one, Nationals leading the Red Sox as we come in for the bottom of the 5th. Cedar Rafaela gonna lead off. He flied to center field back in the 2nd inning. Thaddeus Ward out for his 2nd inning of work after 3 strong innings from Josiah Gray. Rafaela playing in his 6th game this spring, 4 for 11 coming into the day. That one comes in behind him.
That'll wake you up. Last spring, you might have swung at it. So we're making adjustments here.
Made his major league debut after hitting .312 with the Woo Sox, promoted from Portland. You know, June maybe last year, he was with Marcelo Meyer and Nick York in Portland, and they were all sort of thought to be on the same trajectory, and all of a sudden Rafaela just took off. Kind of pulled away from the pack. Hit .294 with a .773 OPS for the Sea Dogs, and then didn't miss a beat. Moved up to the Woo Sox, hit through .312, .988 OPS, and 14 homers.
And every night you're seeing a web chip, right?
Yeah, that's never been in question.
It's never been in question, but it's just like you start sprinkling in some offensive production, and you got a player.
And Manuel Valdez will step up now with 1 down. He's 0 for 1, flied out to right field. Lead off the 3rd inning. 0-2 the count now from Thaddeus Ward. And a 3-pitch strikeout. Pitcher holds on. 2 strikeouts to begin the inning. 3 in the 2 innings of work so far for Ward. Tyler O'Neill stepping up with 2 down in the 5th. He's wearing the mic. Let's hear what he's up to.
Joey, what's up, brother?
How you doing?
Good, and you?
Thank you.
Look good, babe.
Not stronger than you, but
Every day, buddy, every day. Oh, you know.
Got him. You can hear the hustle from Tyler O'Neill. Working a 2-0 count here so far, making 3-0 as he pulls back from that. When he walked in the 3rd inning, stole a base, and that set up the only run of the game for the Red Sox, scoring on the Devers double.
Do you think he's ever gone to first base and a first baseman not said something about his biceps?
Probably not.
Because every time I hear anyone talk about him, I'm like, man, that guy's jacked.
You know that social media, that meme, it's the 2 Spider-Men pointing to each other? I want to get him and Jared Duran to do that at some point this spring training.
I like it.
That's my goal. Tyler O'Neill with a walk here, 2 down in the 5th inning.
Content creator Tom Karen.
I'm all about being a creator.
You've really evolved in the game. You've been here forever.
We had a good one on Instagram today.
We were just talking about how you didn't have cell phones during games, and now we're talking about you making TikToks.
We're having that conversation. Will Fleming over here was talking to us before the game, getting ready for the call with Joe Castig. Birthday boy.
Happy 77th birthday, Joe.
Boy.
Birthday boy.
We still call him birthday boy.
I like
Joe Castig. I love you asked Joe Castiglione what his big plans for his birthday. He was like, well, doing the game.
He goes, well, yeah, I got a baseball game today.
Baseball game. And here's a base hit for Devers, his 2nd of the game. O'Neill coming around 2nd. He'll pull up at 3rd. So a 2-hit afternoon for Devers and men on the corners with 2 outs here in the 5th for the Red Sox.
Yeah, rocket single right here. But what I like the most is Thaddeus Ward has been throwing a ton of really good fastballs. This is a changeup, and he stays on it. This sinks down in the zone. Really, really good pitch. And Raffy doing what Raffy does. Even if he's out on his front side, he's able to keep that barrel through the zone and crush that into the gap.
So you've seen him smoke a line drive out to right field, hit the left field wall with a double, and now a base hit up the middle.
That's about it. Call it a day.
And to be that on top of it, the timing.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's a
into
changeup. You don't see that in camp normally. I know we're early in camp and we're all over him right now for doing that. And that's the hitter he is, though. That's tough to do early in camp.
0-1 pitch. Trevor Story will foul that off. It's quickly 0-2.
Really want to see Trevor get going. It's early. I get it. He's working on things. We're trying to get timing. I feel like it's going to be a good year for Trevor Story. I really do. He's had a healthy offseason. He keeps talking about that. Look, I finally had a healthy offseason. It's been a couple years since I've had that. He signed late when he came over here. Obviously then had the elbow surgery. And it just finally have a normal offseason, come into spring, take over this leadership role of that clubhouse, and hopefully just take off offensively, because we know defensively what he is.
2 down, then on the corners, the 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And Story strikes out for the 3rd time today. We head to the 6th, the Red Sox, trailing 2-1.
Welcome back to JetBlue Park here in cloudy Florida this afternoon. Red Sox in the top of the 6th against the Nationals here with Tristan Casas, who was left on deck, man. Didn't get to get that third at bat, huh?
Yeah, that's all right. I had plenty of chances my first 2 at-bats to put something together when I didn't, but hopefully a lot of baseball to be left this year, played this year. So, yeah, come back tomorrow, do the same thing.
I was going to say, spring training debut for you. How nice was it to run around the diamond a little bit again?
I was just sitting in the dugout after striking out, and I was so happy. Like, I just had a smile on my face just to be back out here, put on the uniform, be in this dugout with this group of guys, and go compete again. Bayo had his good stuff working. It was fun to play behind Tanner. They're inducing ground balls, quick outs. So, yeah, I had a lot of fun. I was just, happy to be back out there.
Right, and it's been a little bit as well because you ended last season injured, so you were not able to finish healthy. But how did that impact the way you attacked the offseason?
Well, I went into it hard. I tried to, get that shoulder healthy again, and I think I did a good job of that. As soon as I got home, nipping that at the bud, squashing it as soon as I got back, getting it back strong and healthy to keep swinging and throwing. So that was step 1, and then just getting back into the gym, getting my body right, trying to maintain that or get strength to be able to maintain throughout the whole year was a big focus. I feel like the swing, the ground balls, those will come into a groove as the season goes on, but just really wanted to get a foundation of a good physique for sure.
Yeah, and last season in the second half, you really took off. Hit .317 with 15 homers. How much of that was staying with your process as opposed to something just finally clicking for you at the big league level?
Yeah, I felt like I was making adjustments every single day, going to the park for the first 2 months, just trying new things, working with the coaches, trying to see where I was failing, how they were pitching me, just trying to adjust. It's just a big game of adjustments. So, yeah, there was a lot of help from a lot of different people, a lot of people in my ear trying to give me great advice, and I took little bits and pieces of everybody's words and applied them, and thankfully stuff started to click.
Yeah, and it led to you finishing 3rd in the American League for Rookie of the Year votes. How do you plan to push back some of those results that you were able to get in your first year at the big leagues?
Man, just staying with that process, like you said. Pretty good numbers in the second half. Numbers don't lie. So whatever I was doing in that second half, I'm going to keep on doing it. Just trying to keep a level head, be present, just whatever's going on, just try to be in the moment, not try to take failure or success too heavily. Just try to go out there and play the game like I know how to, hard, smart, and fast, and lean on my teammates, and just try to, put as much trust as I can into the guys next to me that they're going to have my back.
All right, I'll get you out of here with this one. You're one of my favorite interviews. I always enjoy your insights, what you give us going inside your head. And but the Netflix cameras have been around. How are you enjoying that so far?
It's good. They haven't been invasive or intrusive at all, so everything's been going smooth. Gary's doing a great job running the show, and they haven't been in my way at all. I don't think anybody has any complaints with it, but it is a little weird having an overhead microphone sometimes in the locker rooms, or they're around, but you're not sure where. So. Not that anything changes, not that we're going to adjust our routines or our lifestyle at all. That's the point of it, to capture a little bit of that insight of what it's like to be a player away from their family, away from home. So, yeah, it's going to be great content. I think it's all going to come out really nice.
Yeah, certainly looking forward to that next year. You're going to be a star on there. I can already see Netflix in, 190 countries, something like that? Ridiculous. Send it back over to UTC as the inning just ends. Red Sox get the 3rd out? Yeah, exactly. Trailing 2-1. We'll be back in the bottom half of the inning right after this from JetBlue Park. At the Toyota
Tonight, the Bruins visit the New York Islanders. Catch pregame coverage starting at 6:30. They drop the puck at 7:30 only on NESN. Will, your keys to that game?
Oh yeah, I'll get right on that, TC. Let me just pull out my hockey notes.
This is the old trick, okay? They got to skate.
Got to skate.
That's all. It never hurts. You can never be wrong if you just say they got to skate.
But what does that even mean?
It means they got to skate.
That's like watching football, and you're like, they got to run.
They got to run.
They got to tackle.
But they got to have a skating game. They got to skate. You go to any youth hockey game anywhere in New England, and you'll hear 9 out of 10 parents screaming, "Skate!"
That makes no sense to me.
Just a reminder to the kids on the ice to skate.
Just like,
apparently.
don't stand still.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. It's Tyler McDonough leading off the Red Sox. Flies this one to left field and is one down. Cole Henry, the third pitcher of the game for the Nationals. Red Sox have out-hit the Nats 3-2, but they're on the wrong end of the 2-1 score. Both runs coming off Brian Bayo, but kind of a strange circumstance. A walk, 2 consecutive hit batters, a double play that brought in a run, and then
Squibber.
Ground ball that went maybe 30 feet, maybe.
Tops.
Like nobody could play.
Just skate. Just skate.
You got to skate.
Got to skate through that.
They weren't skating. And then if you want to review a loss, just say, oh, they weren't skating.
They weren't skating.
It's a simple game when you break it
I
down.
have buddies, in Florida who are big hockey guys. Still play. They're in their 40s. They play like men's league.
Oh, sure.
So they're teaching me the lingo.
Yeah.
Sick mitts.
Silky mitts.
Silky.
Silky mitts.
I like sick mitts.
Yeah.
I'll work on them.
You ever smell a sick mitt after a game?
No.
Not a good thing.
No. Stay away from that.
That's one thing if the girls aren't going to play hockey, you will be avoiding an odor that most unprepared
That's
families.
fine. I just need one
handle.
to play golf. I just need an excuse to, hey, we have to practice every day.
Jenny, doing it for the kids.
It's for the kids, not my handicap.
That was the best. My kids got old enough to golf. I was like, I'm going to take them out for a few hours. You have some you time.
Watch some bad television.
You can pay me back later. You can pay me back later, but for now, I'm going to take them off your hands for a little while.
Oh, I hope Jenny's not listening because I need to pocket that.
We're leaving it out. Don't worry. You can do something for me sometime. Ground ball to second base. Tyler Miller is thrown out for the second out of the inning. So the Red Sox got good pitching so far today. Bayo, 3 innings, the couple of runs. We told you how that happened. Then Tanner Howe, 3 scoreless innings.
Yeah, that first inning, I didn't think his command was great, but he made adjustments. He got in the zone. He started throwing some nasty sliders. It had some good break, and that 2-seamer had some good run on it as well. So good outing by both of them. That's right at us.
Dive.
I got to open my window.
Why is your window closed?
It's a great question. You guys have your windows open. I got to protect this face.
I can't do. It could be 20 below. I got to have the window.
I honestly didn't even think about it till then. First game I ever called.
About the window you are staring at being closed.
They do a good job cleaning them. All right.
Very clear window. There's no doubt about that.
First game I ever called in the booth. It was a college game. Creighton in Arizona, in Omaha.
Yep.
And it was wind blowing in about 30 miles an hour, and the wind chill was like 17. It was in April, and my window was open.
Oh, yeah.
So I think I'm just scarred. So now I'm just like, leave it closed.
It's just hard for me because I feel like I'm yelling into a window. You know what I mean? I feel like no one's going to hear us.
You're a caged animal. You don't want to be a caged animal.
So, that's through the window. Lean over here. This is Will, everybody. See, there's Will. That's his closed
There's my window. Look.
That's his closed
window.
I'm going to look out the really clear open window. Ground ball left side. Rangy play, but it'll pull off the bag. And that'll be Heineman, who'll get over to second base. So, getting on with 2 outs here.
Yeah, there's almost a collision between third baseman and the shortstop here as well. Third baseman's about to go for it, and he has to get out of the way. That probably threw off the shortstop on making the throw right there. First baseman couldn't even get close to it with a dive.
That'll bring up Philip Sykes, the outfielder, who's batting for Abreu. And pretty much a complete change there.
I got Alana Rizzo texting me, telling me, open the dang windows.
Alana Rizzo knows what she's talking about. This is one of the premier broadcasters in baseball, a national talent. There's a long fly ball for Sykes, and that'll smash the window. It's gone. Up and over everything. A 2-out, 2-run home run for Philip Sykes. And the Red Sox take their first lead of the game.
Goodness gracious, that ball's touched right there, TC. 94 up in the zone, turned on, and I'm pretty sure that lands on the batting cages way back behind the monster here at JetBlue. Fastball up and in, too, pulls those hands in.
By the way, spring training was that's Cutter Coffee.
It's spring training for everyone.
Yeah, Cutter Coffee, my bad. I followed the list off the cliff.
That's okay. Regardless, he just hammered it.
Yeah, I apologize to Cutter Coffee.
The coffee family watching.
Because that's more than a cup of coffee. That is a jolt. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th, Cutter Coffee has given the Red Sox their first lead of the game.
That was a great recovery with the jolt right there.
I know, but he was already in the dugout. Would have been nice to say that as he hit it, had I known who was at the plate.
It's spring training for everyone.
Yeah, it is. Including the guy who just gave me the substitutions. Luis Ravello is confirmed at the plate. And that'll be strike 3 to end the inning. But Cutter Coffee, what's my name? He says as he clears the monster with a towering 2-run blast and a 3-2 lead for the Red Sox.
Back here at JetBlue after a massive home run over the left field green monster. Red Sox now on top 3-2 here in the 7th. Happy to be joined now by Red Sox third base coach Kyle Hudson. And I got to just let the people know, I mean, this man has been on my request list. We have tried to get him, lock him down, and our access has finally been granted. Huddy, thanks so much for taking the time. Certainly good to spend some time with you.
Oh, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. I always enjoy talking to you.
I know that's a lot, but it's okay because we want to tell the people all the good things about me. But, you know, this is your 2nd year in the organization. How much more settled do you feel like you're being?
Yeah, I mean, everybody in this organization is fantastic. I mean, I'm still getting to know everybody. You know, coming back to spring training, you can see a lot of faces that you didn't see since last spring training. So it's still a little bit new, but the organization overall is obviously fantastic. The people involved in the organization, fantastic. So I can't say enough good things about them.
Now you're going to the other side of the diamond as well, from the first base coach now to the third base coach. What are the differences that you're experiencing so far?
Oh, just getting used to that other side. I mean, I haven't been over there for a while, so I'm definitely getting used to it. So spring training for me it's spring training for me as well, just like the players. And just getting comfortable with Alex, getting comfortable with Foxy over there, and just, you know, seeing the ball flight, seeing our base runners run, and those guys are putting pressure on me, which is a really good thing. And you know, it's been fun so far.
I was going to say, you're seeing a lot of guys and tracking their speed and, you know, getting an idea of how they move. What is going to be your approach as a third base coach? You're going to be a little bit more aggressive, or is it a collective group thing that you guys have decided on?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall it's situation based, right? Like, and the situation is dictated by the situation of the game, and you know, we'd like to be aggressive. I mean, we teach aggressive mindset on the bases, right? And so I think aggressive mindset as a third base coach is a good thing as well, and it kind of puts them in that mode. Now, that being said, like, we're going to make smart, educated decisions, right? But these guys have been doing a great job of it's actually making me hard to hold guys at this point in time, because they're getting really good primary, really good secondary reads and all that. So can't say enough good things about what they've done so far, too.
Yeah, we definitely love the runs to be scored in the action around the base paths, but you still have a responsibility with the outfielders, and Alex has come on the record and said how that's really going to be a deciding factor with a lot of other positional battles that you guys have going on. Could be several alignment possibilities, but how do you approach the evaluation when it comes to those guys?
Yeah, you know what? We've talked a lot this spring about just being a group, right? And just we're as good as the guy next to us, and so every day we go out in our individual work and we push each other, and these guys have been fantastic, you know, with how they've approached the work and getting better every single day. And, you know, as we talk about being one cohesive unit, right? And everybody feeds off of each other, and that's how we're going to be the best that we can be. And these guys, they come out and they work hard every single day, and they give effort every single day. You're seeing that playing out in the games. They're doing a really good job at this point. They're making some plays, and it's fun to watch those guys too.
Talk about dynamic players and athletes out there all over the field. Remember last year when Cedon Rafaela came up, you look at him, you see just how different it is, right? If you had a crystal ball and to take a peek into the future, what kind of potential can be unlocked with a guy like him?
I mean, yeah, you watch this guy every day in the work, and it's pretty amazing what he can do. Just the tools overall. I mean, he's got the speed, he's got the reactions, he's got the instincts, he's got the arm, and to watch it every single day. I've been fortunate enough to watch some really good center fielders up close for a while, and you know, he's up there at this point. He hasn't done it yet at the major league level, right? I mean, he's had a handful of games up there, but I think if we look a couple years down the road, I think that this guy's going to be in line to have some awards, you know, and it's going to be fun to watch this guy progress. He still has some, you know, he's got to get better every single day. He's got to continue, but he does that. He takes that mentality, and one thing he does every single day is he pushes the group. He pushes the group to be better, just not necessarily by his words, but, you know, by the way he goes about his work every day. So it's awesome.
Well, still a few more weeks to settle everything. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. But thanks for the time, Huddy. We certainly appreciate it. First of many this season.
That sounds good. Appreciate you, man.
All right, it's Kyle Hudson, Red Sox third base coach, taking the time to slow down for us. A great athlete in his own right, by the way, during his college days. Yeah, he still got it, TC.
Played in the Rose Bowl.
Receiver.
There you go. Now he's relaying the message.
Thanks, Jemai.
Yeah. Then he gives it the roll. Here they go again. He was they did the NFL style combine when he came out of, you know, the end of his season, and they said he would have been top 10 in the NFL with the speed and the agility and what he was able to show.
It's impressive. He's probably the most laid back guy on the field too. You hear him talking, you're just like, wow, I wish I could be that relaxed.
He's been a great presence for this team as this is popped up to center field. Coming in to make the catch is McDonough. The second out of the inning. Brennan Bernardino on the mound. He's the third pitcher of the game for the Red Sox. Bernardino, one of the great stories of a disappointing season for the Red Sox last year, went from a waiver claim from Seattle to being one of the best left-handed relievers in the game.
Oh, he was a stud for the Sox. I mean, he came in and they started him, you know, middle relief, almost wasting innings with him, just covering innings, and then they've realized, like, wow, he's got some really good stuff. That slider, that sinker, he's got some really good stuff, and he actually saw some high leverage innings last year against some big at-bats.
One of the great stats you love to see from a reliever: stranded 26 of 30 inherited runners, third best of any major league reliever inheriting 30 or more runners last season. The 1-0 pitch to Adams, who gets out of the way. 3-2 Red Sox leading here in the top of the 7th. Cutter Coffee, who I owe a cup of coffee to for getting his name wrong, with a towering 2-run home run to give the Red Sox their first lead of the game in the 6th. You take a look at Cutter Coffee playing third base. Bernardino gets the outside corner, 3-1 to count. Ground ball ranging over to his left, and a strong throw across the diamond is Paulino.
Great play.
So the Red Sox, after a leadoff double from Alex Call, 3 straight outs from Bernardino, and we head to the bottom of the 7th. Boston leading by a run. Red Sox Spring Training Baseball on NESN is brought to you by Fubo. Live TV and sports without cable. Try it free at FuboTV.com. And by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. We're always here to get you there. (3-2) Red Sox leading as Miller steps up. Tyler Miller batting in the 9-hole to lead off the 7th inning. Cutter Coffee, the big home run, the 2-run home run that cleared everything. He was the 2nd-round pick by the Red Sox 2 drafts ago. High school pick, had committed to the University of Texas before signing with the Red Sox. Tyler Miller, meantime, working the count here. It's 2-1. Miller, 24 years old, 6'2", 195. 9th-round pick in 2021 out of Auburn in that draft, and he sends this one towards the right field side, drifting, and it is gone! Up and over the wall, trying to make the catch. But Tyler Miller drives one into the bullpen. Dalen Lyle tried to make that catch. I'll have to go out and take a look at him here as he went upside down and over, and you see him in the open door there. With the Red Sox tending to him.
Yeah, he's in a lot of pain right now. It's always a bad sign anytime you see the bullpen immediately calling for the trainers. What an effort.
Dalen Lyle, the 21-year-old, a second-round pick of the Nationals in the 2021 draft. Made an exceptional effort trying to catch that Tyler Miller drive.
You know, off the bat, it looked like a routine fly ball, and that wind just kept carrying it and kept carrying it. He almost stopped on the track thinking he was under it, wait for it to come down, and then had to make the awkward jump over that wall. Just got to hope he's okay. You never want to see anybody get hurt, especially in spring training.
You see the look on the Red Sox relievers. It happened right in front of them. We couldn't see from here if he landed on his head, but he certainly was close to upside down.
Right. I think they could be calling for a cart, which is not a good sign. Yeah, doctor's running out now with a bag that normally this bag has an air cast. Unfortunately, I've lived that. So this, yeah, not looking good.
And again, a pause here. Bottom of the 7th, a Tyler Miller home run, but Dalen Lyle has been injured trying to make the catch with a acrobatic effort up and over the right field wall. Lyle missed all of 2022 with Tommy John surgery and said it felt like something was taken away from me that I love. Was public about missing the time and how difficult that was for him. And now you see him being tended to in that Red Sox bullpen. Got back on the field last year and played 106 games. Earned his first promotion. He's being counted upon for outfield depth in the Nationals. Nationals players have gathered out in center field. Red Sox pitchers in the bullpen have gathered in one corner. You see the concerned looks on their faces. Again, you never want to speculate on an injury, what could have happened there, but you can imagine any number of injuries that could have happened when you're essentially defenseless upside down trying to make a catch and then landing on the other side of that wall.
Yeah, and what's scary too is it's the automatic call for the stretcher and the cart and things like that. That's scary when they automatically know, like, okay, this isn't good. So
pitcher Cole Henry and the catcher Drew Millis gone back to the Washington dugout. As they continue to tend to Dalen Lyle here in Fort Myers. After his exceptional attempt to catch Tyler Miller drive that cleared the wall for a home run. See the garage door open out in center field. You assume that's how they will get him out on a cart, stretcher, vehicle. Back here at JetBlue Park as we watch with both teams, hoping that Dalen Lyle is okay. We're continuing right inside that doorway of the Red Sox bullpen, right center field. They've got a stretcher out there now, and they're bringing him through. Got him immobilized on the stretcher. The ovation from the crowd, both dugouts as well. Dalen Lyle being taken to get medical attention. We'll keep you updated on anything we may hear. As the players come back out, let's take a break. As Cole Henry gets back on the mound, and we'll come back for the bottom of the 7th here at JetBlue after this. All right, back here at JetBlue Park as we're ready to resume the bottom of the 7th inning. Game coming to a stop as we all send our thoughts and support to Dalen Lyle, taken off in a stretcher after an exceptional attempt to catch a Tyler Miller home run that was going over the wall in right center field. Obviously no word this early about the injury, but we will keep you updated as information becomes available.
Yeah, it's just scary stuff. You know, you don't want to see anybody get hurt, but injuries happen in sports. We know that, but you don't see that very often. You don't see stretcher. You don't see neck brace. Scary, scary stuff. It's a game, you know.
We don't want to show you much, obviously, but this is the attempt, and you see him go up and over and almost beyond, like landing on his back. And you see, as you said,
immediately, yeah,
Bruce Gregson in the bullpen, and many of the pitchers immediately calling for help. As Max Ferguson will hit a single up the middle here. Second hit of the inning for the Red Sox, the Miller home run, and now a base hit for Ferguson. Paulino, rather, with the single. That's Paulino. Beg your pardon. Paulino with a single. Max Ferguson at the plate now. Man on first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Philip Sykes on deck. Oh, and 2 is the count here to Ferguson. Fly ball to center field. Green is under it. The first out of the inning. That'll bring up Philip Sykes with 1 out in the 7th. Red Sox leading 4-2 here in the 7th inning. Philip Sykes at the plate.
Philip Sykes from Paris, Texas, not far from where I grew up in Texarkana. We used to play against Paris, Texas in every sport growing up. I gotta find this kid and talk to him.
Long time ago, there was a cult classic movie called Paris, Texas.
Was it? No, I didn't.
Just go look that up. Sykes holds up there. Spent all of last year with the Portland Sea Dogs, 630 OPS in 111 games. Really shot up in 2022, posted an OPS of 905 in Salem, moved up to high A Greenville. Was a two-way player in college at the University of New Mexico. Then transferred to Pima Community College before moving on to TCU, where he was a first-team All-Big 12 player.
Got some miles in college, isn't it? That's college baseball now, though. The last few years, I mean, it's just like, where can you find a job? I say job because they're getting paid now.
They're getting deals. Did that hit him? It did. So Sykes will get aboard.
He didn't even want to take his. He didn't even want to take his base. He's like,
hit.
I got a big league at bat. Come on. It barely gets him. He turns his back. He shook his hand, but he kind of turned his back to the umpire, like maybe he didn't see it. I want this at bat.
Bring up Tyler McDonough. 2 on, 1 out.
Any relation? McDonough? Sean?
There's a lot of McDonoughs in the world.
That's why I asked. Is there any relation?
I don't think so.
I think we would know if there was.
Well, yeah, I would. I mean,
we would
Cincinnati attended NC State.
Okay, so probably not. I say probably not. There's a lot of McDonoughs.
It's not a really wildly unusual name. I'm looking at you like, which McDonough are we talking about? Hubie McDonough?
I thought that would be
Neil
in the forefront
McDonough,
of your
the
mind.
actor,
Okay.
who is also from Boston?
Now you're just
New England?
piling on.
Tyler McDonough was a second-team All-ACC selection 2 times, playing at NC State. Last year, Portland Sea Dogs hit 250, 696 OPS, moved up to Worcester, where he posted an 808 OPS. This is a grounder. It'll turn into a double play as Lixcomb comes up with it, and that'll end the inning. Red Sox at a run, leading 4-2 as we head to the 8th. Back here at JetBlue Park, no changes. Well, actually, we've got several changes that we'll get to. But a 4-2 lead for the Red Sox at the top of the 8th. Pitching change. Here's one of them, presented by Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. We're always here to get you there And it'll be Greg Weissert, the 4th pitcher of the game for Boston. Weissert with the Yankees last season. You see his numbers there. He was acquired by the Red Sox as one of 3 pitchers who came back for the Alex Verdugo deal. A 2.90 ERA and a 34.3% strikeout rate in AAA, and then moved up to the Yankees. He is one of the guys you mentioned in the Open tonight. One of the right-handed relievers in battling for one of the open spots. Brady House will ground out to Ravello. Nice play there for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, this is a guy, you're coming off the bench and you got to face this. It's really uncomfortable. I was talking to Trevor Story about him this morning. My first thing was like, man, that slider is filthy. It just kind of disappears. It starts middle of the plate, ends up a foot off the plate. And he's like, man, go watch his fastball too. He short arms it. It's got some run. It's heavy. He's got good stuff, and I think he's got a really good chance to impact the middle relief area of this bullpen.
I'll bring up Jake Alou for the Nationals, former Boston College Eagle out of Hamilton, New Jersey. Made his major league debut last May at San Francisco. Got his first major league hit a couple of days later against the Mets. 3rd team All-ACC selection at Chestnut Hill. .343 batting average with 40 RBI in 2019. Played for the Bourne Braves, Cape Cod League. 24th round pick of the Nationals, 2019.
Taking a little time here. Marvin Hudson just wore that heater off the chest, I'm pretty sure. Got right past Heineman. I don't know if it was a cross up or not, but Marvin wore it back there.
The 2-0 from Weissert, missing outside.
That's the thing with Weissert too, is sometimes guys can be too nasty for their own good. You got to be able to throw strikes, or it's just not. There it is, just off the glove. Caught him on the inner thigh, actually. Probably worse. Not great.
Called strike there, 3-1. The count now to Alou. Fouls this one off. 4-2 Red Sox leading here in the top of the 8th. 2-run home run from Cutter Coffey and a solo shot from Tyler Miller. Back in the 3rd inning, it was Rafi Devers. Smoked an RBI double off the Green Monster at JetBlue Park here. That'll come back to Weissert, and Weissert will make the play. We told you it's a split squad. Across town, it was Nick Pivetta on the mound for the Red Sox going up against the Tampa Bay Rays. 2 scoreless innings for Pivetta, so good news for the Red Sox as he continues to pitch well. Pivetta making his first appearance in a game of the season. Faced 6 batters, 1 strikeout, didn't walk anyone, no hits. So a good
spring training out.
First step. 23 pitches for Nick Pivetta today. We say first official game because he had pitched in the exhibition against Northeastern to open things up. So coming back, Will was ready, but it's out of his range. And this is Darren Baker, who most of the world got to know when he was 3 years old and almost got run over at home plate.
Who was it that pulled him away from home plate?
JT Snow.
JT Snow. I was like, BJ Sherhoff. Who was that? Okay, JT Snow. I was talking about it with Peter Gammons earlier. We couldn't figure it out. And if he doesn't know, I don't feel bad about
Pretty
not
sure.
knowing.
I mean, that's what
JT Snow. No, that sounds right. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Now that you say it.
Who later came to the Red Sox. Darren Baker, of course, son of Dusty Baker. Originally drafted by the Nationals in the 27th round when he was in high school while his dad was still manager of the Nationals. Then wound up going to UCal Berkeley. Was selected in the 10th round in 2021. Had a nice moment a couple of years ago in spring training. 9th inning game-tying grand slam for the Nats and a comeback win over his dad's Astros.
That's cool.
Darren said, Dad didn't want to look at me the next day or so. Those of you who know Dusty Baker know that
Yeah, it's all about getting the win, right?
It's all about getting the win.
Yeah, he ended up actually going to 4th year of school because of the COVID year, and there was a much smaller, way less rounds in the draft, so it wouldn't have worked out well for him, just 5 rounds.
Swing and a miss there, so Weissert gets Baker and gets through a 1-2-3 8th inning. Go to the bottom of the 8th for the Red Sox, up 4-2.
Jordan's Furniture is collecting like-new youth baseball and softball equipment for their double play program. Donate at any Jordan's Furniture store locations through April 7th. All equipment will benefit the Red Sox Foundation Nike RBI program.
Bottom of the 8th with the Red Sox up by 2. Christian Koss will be leading off, taking the spot of Masataka Yoshida. And he will face Mitchell Parker, the 4th pitcher of the game for the National. About half of the number of pitchers we had seen in the spring training games up to now. Mitchell Parker, 5th round pick of the Nationals in 2020. Koss pops this out, a great diving catch for Baker. Full extension. And a smile to boot. First out of the inning.
You look up, you see that smile, and you just see his dad, right? He just looked just like him right there. What a play, though. This is tough. Koss gets jammed. Normally, you're saying, "Oh, this is sitting soft. That's a knock all day." But Baker got a great jump on it. Great diving play.
Tyler Heineman, the catcher. At the plate now. Heineman drives this one to left field. Alou is there, and he'll make the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. And that'll bring up Cutter Coffey. Coffey absolutely destroying a pitch in his first at bat of the game. A 6th inning, no doubter. A 2-run home run with 2 outs that gave the Red Sox their first lead of the game. Made it 3-2.
Yeah, I need to see a stat cast on that one.
Let's take another look at it again. Here it is in the 6th inning. Cutter Crawford, a swing and a drive, smoked it over everything for the home run. A 2-run shot gave the Red Sox the 3-2 lead.
We got to get a camera back there on the practice fields to see how far that actually went.
Did I call him Cutter Crawford? I can't get his name right. I think I just called him Cutter Crawford. I did that. I tried to do that play-by-play so that the Coffey family could have the clip. Can we see that again real quick?
Now we're going to replay to
Can we
make
see
up
the
for
home run
it.
again? Can we see the home run one more time? Is that a nope?
They gave up on you.
Cutter Coffee. I'm going to get this right because I am indebted to the Coffee family. I've totally butchered this thing today. It's spring training, and he drives this one to right field. And that's the third out of the inning. We're going to see the Cutter Coffee home run when we come back with the Red Sox heading to the ninth, leading 4-2.
It's easy to...
All right, back here at JetBlue Park, it is the ninth inning. That is Cutter Coffee. And Cutter Coffee has turned in our strong play of the game presented by your New England Chevy dealers. Together, let's drive. Cutter Coffee, a swing and a drive, a towering home run up and over the Green Monster. A two-run shot with 2 outs in the 6th inning. And the Red Sox take their first lead of the game on the Cutter Coffee home run.
And might you say a jolt of energy for this?
But to the Coffee family watching at home, I want you to cut that video.
And that's the one.
That's the one you keep. I had the wrong guy. I'd been given bad information, and I messed up by not verifying it myself, so I had the wrong player. And then I was just being me and called him Cutter Crawford.
And it deserves it, because that was a bomb.
That was a bomb, and you need to have that clip with the proper call, and there you go.
And now you have it. After his second at-bat of the day.
3 innings later, I got it right. Third try. On an 0-2 pitch, I finally got it.
Late than never.
For those of you who love watching the Red Sox, Dave O'Brien will be back next week, and you'll be happy to know. Shove me back in the studio where I belong. Zach Kelly on the mound now. He's calling Christian Arroyo, Bronson Arroyo 3 years
That's
into
a tough
his Red
one to
Sox
mess
career.
up.
I mean, so, you know. I mean, it's, as you get older, it gets a little hard.
Yeah.
Do we have a star of the game promo today? If not, we're going to make one, and it will be Cutter Coffee. All due respect to Philip Sykes. Nothing.
Cutter with a
Philip
C.
Sykes had a great game, but it's Cutter Coffee.
Raffy Devers looked good, but
Cutter Crawford will be pitching tomorrow, not
All
Cutter
right.
Coffee.
Now you're
Cutter Crawford starts tomorrow.
It's too
Hope
much.
you can join us 1 o'clock when they face the Blue Jays.
You done?
No, probably not. Probably not. Zach Kelly on the mound for the Red Sox.
Good seeing Zach Kelly back out there.
Yeah, missed most of last year with the injury. You know, got back before the end of the year, which was really important for him going into that offseason. Nice play at third. Can I say it?
Go.
Cutter Coffee
Yes.
with a tremendous play at third base.
I love the pause and check your notes.
Making sure there hasn't been a change.
This is a nice play. This is not hit hard, but it's right over the bag. And for a third baseman, that could be a tough play. Long throw.
Smooth
Great play.
and a long throw, which is what you're looking
Smooth,
for.
great finish. Medium roast.
Well, you know, it's a little known fact, right? Most people get it wrong. Light roast has more caffeine than dark roast.
Because the longer it's
Most
cooked.
people think the opposite. You're roasting the caffeine out of it. I didn't know that until
I
just
learned
a few
that.
years back.
Actually, you told me that in studio. Because I was making Keurigs for you. Because I was the rookie.
Right.
Hey, but go give me some coffee.
Dark roast at night.
And I'm like, you want the dark roast? He's like, well, that does have less.
Yeah. So it's
caffeine.
good at night. Doubleheader, maybe you go light roast.
Like I said, always learning things.
I've learned that is Cutter coffee that we are looking at right now on the screen. 0-2 pitch. Held up, down in the dirt.
Every time we call a game together, it's something. It's worm moon. We got.
I feel like
I'm
today
missing
should
something.
be the worm moon.
It's the coffee day.
Yeah, today's the coffee day. Told you Zach Kelly on the mound missed most of last season, recovering from elbow surgery, but like we said, returned late, got a couple of appearances, and I think that was really important for the mindset going into the offseason. Alex Cora, Ramon Vasquez, Red Sox in the dugout. Sox trying to close out a 4-2 win.
And beyond even just like the feel good, oh, he had surgery, now he's back. He's actually got a really good chance to impact this team. He's got good stuff. That changeup is very good.
So it'll be 3-2. Conversation on the mound here. Today's game is presented by Fubo. Stream New England sports and more on NESN. With Fubo, try it free at FuboTV.com. Tom Karen, Will Middlebrooks, Jemai Webster with you this afternoon. Again, we are back on the air tomorrow. 1 o'clock game here at JetBlue Park. So the Red Sox take on the Blue Jays. AL East matchup. Could this be the year the Blue Jays get it together and make a deep run? They've got the talent.
They do. Adding Justin Turner helps too, especially in that clubhouse.
Yeah, much like a little bit of a leadership void maybe last year. He came in here. That's a team with a lot of young talent that has kind of lacked that guy to lead the way.
And they're getting to the point now where they're not that young anymore. They're there. It's time for those guys to perform.
So a walk here, 1 down. Drew Millis, the catcher, now at the plate. It's called strike. Zach Kelly got the first out. Kelly's 3rd appearance of the season, 2nd straight appearance against Washington. Gave up a couple of earned runs in 1 inning last time around. After a scoreless inning in his first outing against the Braves. Quickly ahead, 0-2 here on Millis.
Kelly's fastball sitting 95, 96 right now. At this point in spring, that is a really good sign after coming off surgery.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So 2nd out of the inning for Kelly.
That's that changeup I was referring to. After 96 mile per hour painted fastball away, throws this changeup in the same spot and it just disappears down and away. That's his out pitch right there.
Trey Lincecum now with 2 down in the 9th inning. Zach Kelly trying to close out the deal. Zach Kelly. Drops 1 in, strike 2.
Back-to-back sliders there from Zach. Obviously a 3rd pitch. He would like to develop a little more, get a little more out of it. Obviously anytime you can add a 3rd pitch is huge.
But instead, it's a base hit to right field for Lipscomb. But he played there and wanted to pull up at second base. So 2 down, a base hit. Keep the inning going here for the Nationals. Elijah Green trying to keep things going here as he steps in. Face Zach Kelly. Elijah Green takes ball one, just 20 years old. Another one of those first-round picks of the National, 5th overall in 2022 out of the IMG Academy in Bradenton. Rookie ball in low A last season. Takes a called strike. Red Sox looking for their 5th Grapefruit League win of the spring. Kelly misses inside. It's 2-1. Next weekend, Red Sox will be playing their games in Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic, as part of the MLB World Tour. Tampa Bay Rays games next Saturday and Sunday. You'll see them here on NESN. 2-1 from Kelly. Big swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Next weekend we move the clocks forward, right? Spring forward.
Spring forward, yeah.
And just to make things a little confusing for us going on the trip, they don't change times.
No.
In Santa. So it's an hour difference for the Saturday game, but we're in the same time zone for the Sunday game. Don't be late. 2-2 pitch from Kelly. Gets the called strike 3. So a strikeout of Elijah Green to end it. And the Red Sox pick up their 5th win of the Grapefruit League schedule, 4-2 the final. Good day for Red Sox pitching. Bayo, Houck, Bernardino, Weiser. Now Kelly all look good.
They all looked really, really good. Bayo made some adjustments. I loved what I saw from Rafi Devers going the other way with a double, staying through a changeup up the middle. He looks locked in already, maybe ready to tap into another level of excellence.
Hey, stay with us on NESN. PWHL hockey, Boston versus Montreal coming your way at 4 o'clock. So the Boston-Montreal rivalry hitting the ice in PWHL play. But for now, for Will Middlebrooks, Jemai Webster, and our entire NESN crew, I'm Tom Karen. Thank you so much for watching. Finals go for the final time. Red Sox 4, Nationals 2. We'll see you again tomorrow afternoon at 1.